so big and I'm so little. Why is that all gonna go inside of me? No! It's all gonna go into my blood or it's just my body? And welcome back. Today we have a very special treat for you guys. We are here at Liquid Vida. As you guys know and been watching me on my Instagram and my YouTube, you guys know that I've been super sick and it's coming down to the second week. It seems like it's getting better, but I'm still feeling extremely sluggish. I took yesterday off and I even had a cheat meal on today. I was hoping to be jumping around like an Easter bunny, like an Energizer bunny, and nothing. I'm literally just dragging along. So PJ told me, Steph, you need to go and try out Liquid Vida here in Boca. So that is what we're doing today. So I'm going to show you guys the behind the scenes of exactly what happens. It is an IV treatment. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Vitamins from a high-end lab that, even though vitamins and minerals are not regulated by the FDA, we have a 503B lab, which is pretty much in turn is regulated by the FDA, and they give us all natural, top line, liquid vitamins. And within these, what's good about this lab, even though it's not regulated, is that everything that's what we have in our product that says it's in there is legitimately in there, and it's tested, by a third party. So, people are always asking, what's in this, and it's, any fillers, any stuff of that nature. No, it's all natural.
It's pure.
Yeah.
So what is it that you're taking out right now?
Okay, so right now, pretty much what we're taking out is we give a very high dose of to start off with, which is 25,000 milligrams, 25 grams of vitamin C. Usually, once you go into the higher ranges of vitamin C, which you can do that, at that point you want to take a blood test to see, if you're getting, too much, or if it's being counter, productive / intuitive. But so pretty much I'm just going with, I've already wiped everything, with alcohol preps to keep it sterile. And then what we're going to do is we're taking out the vitamins, obviously from the vials over here, and we're transferring it into the IV bags. The great thing about IV infusion therapy also is that, people always think well, if I'm eating healthy, sleeping well, and getting proper nutrition, is that enough? And obviously it's better than nothing, but it's when you're eating or taking vitamins, actually, you're really only absorbing it orally, maybe 20 to 30%, and that also depends on the person and the digestion. But when you're going with the vitamins, that's about 90 to 100. Now, obviously, some of the stuff that you don't use, fat soluble will leave your body a lot slower, and whatever you don't use water soluble wise will obviously, you'll expel. But I mean, it's still, that's going to happen naturally. So, but it's still a very effective and potent way of getting vitamins.
Jennifer's about to puke. You don't like looking at the needle, Jennifer, when it goes in?
This is not a good time to talk about eating steak, or no? Let's do this.
You don't have to look.
I'm not. I'm just
yes.
making sure the camera's aiming.
Look, you have a great day. We're not ready. 1, 2, 3. That's it. That wasn't bad, right?
Now that we have plugged this in, it's going to go into my bloodstream, correct?
That is correct.
And then I'm going to be sitting here. This is all going to go inside of my body. And we're looking at how long?
I would say it can go anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. The thing with these infusions is not like if you were in a pre-hospital setting and we needed to do high fluid challenge because your blood pressure is low, where we would start off with a bigger needle gauge and pretty much the term kind of almost dump fluids into you. This we're trying to do it fast, where you're not staying here all day, but also where it's slow enough that you're getting the better absorption.
So I have a question.
Sure.
When it comes to, because I do take a lot of vitamins, so what is the biggest difference between like, you know, mega dosing on like vitamin C and vitamin D and then doing an IV?
Yeah, it's like I was, you know, reiterate from a little bit before is that, you know, when you're taking vitamins orally, and it's also dependent on the person and their metabolism, but you're usually only going to absorb maybe 20 to 30% of it, you know? And when you're getting it, you know, IV wise, you know, you at least 90 to 100% of it is going, you know, going to be absorbed or utilized and then expelled. It could be a little bit different too, percentage wise, but I know that the disparity between you doing it orally and IV is pretty huge.
Interesting.
With you, it went. That didn't hurt though, right? I mean, I know.
Nah.
And the cool thing too, you can tell them too on your own as well, is that like, cause people, you know, like her, for a second, like don't like needles, but
Yeah.
like it wasn't that painful. It's pretty quick,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the needle doesn't really. People have a misconception that they think like the needle's still in them. As soon as once we establish that IV and you hear that little click, the needle's gone. So what you have inside your vein is a very small like plastic catheter.
Huh.
So,
Interesting.
Yeah, because I was gonna say it doesn't feel like a needle. Whenever you put it in, I was like, huh.
Yeah, the initial like little, you know, pinch or poke, you know what I'm saying? I'll give people heads up. I mean, if you were completely more, you know, IV phobic in a way, then I would, you know, kind of calm you down more, like have you kind of look away, breathe a little bit, because, you know, people always be like, and I don't try to minimize this, but people always like, you know, which doesn't happen often, you know, in a therapeutic setting of IVs, but once in a while you will get somebody who's deathly afraid of it, and they'll be like, what happens if I pass out? And I'm not trying to be insensitive to it, but I tell them, look, I mean, obviously I don't want you to pass out, but if you're gonna pass out, you're in the best position. You're sitting in a chair, and I'll just wake you up. And then the crazy thing too, it's dependent on how you feel in that time, or maybe it's just specific to you, but like sometimes when people get IVs, even the first time, they feel amazing right away. Sometimes, like maybe in my situation or other people the first time, or depending how depleted you are, like you can feel like a little bit, you feel clean and alert, but you're like sluggish, you're like, oh man, you know? And sometimes that can last, you know, a couple hours depending on how you absorb it.
So by like the end of the day, I should be feeling.
I think with
Better?
you, realistically, I would say probably within an hour of leaving here, probably with your metabolism and stuff like that,
Okay.
yeah, I would tell you, you probably.
All right, guys. We'll see if this. We'll see. We'll see. I'm ready to feel better. All right, guys. So I just got done with my IV. I'm actually feeling pretty good. So the Brazilian, so Liquid Vida is inside of the Brazilian Med Spa right here in Boca. So if you guys are going to come, I highly recommend it. Super professional. I'm actually surprisingly feeling pretty energized. Oh, yay! Okay. I think I'm ready for the gym. Let's go! Okay. So right now we're headed over to Jacksonville. We're probably gonna go eat somewhere because I'm a little hungry. You guys hungry?
Yeah, but I'm almost done.
We're gonna go eat. All right, so catch you guys in a second. It is the next day, guys, and oh my goodness, I am feeling so good. I haven't woken up and felt this energized in a really long time, so it's crazy. I literally, like, once I got the treatment done, I fell asleep through the whole 4 or 5 hour drive from Fort Lauderdale, from Boca to Jacksonville. So now I'm in Jacksonville, and I had a really good night's sleep. I woke up pretty energized, and overall, I had an amazing experience with the IV treatment. I highly recommend it if you haven't already tried it. And, you know, I was a skeptic at first, honestly. Like, I felt so bad, and going in there, I'm like, there's no way this is gonna help me. No way, no way. Like, but to my surprise, here I am, and I have a lot of energy. I have a lot of, I don't know, it's like I feel rejuvenated. It's crazy. So I'm excited to finally hit the gym today, which I honestly haven't been able to say in the last couple days. And I'm excited to kill it and do legs, and Yes, so stay tuned for the rest of the videos. The next video is going to be a leg day, so stay tuned for that. So until then, thank you guys for subscribing and liking, and I'll see you guys in the next one.